My name's Andrew Forsythe. I'm the Managing Director of Ready Group, and thank you for allowing me to speak to you today. I've been told I've got to reduce my 3-hour presentation into 10 minutes, so please bear with me. Ready Group basically operates in the warehouse and storage industry. Ready Rack is our rack manufacturing business. Our product was originally developed in Canada in the 1960s, manufactured in Belgium before moving to the UK in 1974. Ready Rack's been manufactured in Europe for over 40 years. We're the only manufacturer of welded racking in the UK and one of the largest in Europe. Ready Group's been independently owned since about 2004, and we're involved in a lot of the regulatory bodies within the UK and in Europe. I'm going to talk you through a case study in a minute, but just briefly we'll have a quick look at what's available on the marketplace. So obviously, to those of you involved in warehousing, these won't be unusual names, but obviously as you get to the bottom of the slide, you'll see that a lot of these are there purely to increase density. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through a case study now that we successfully undertook this year. The client's a cold store operator and intended building a brand new building with approximately a floor area of 4,500 square metres. We were obviously given a brief to store the maximum number of pallets possible in the area, and we were told that they have 600 pallet movements a day. The environment's a minus 28 degrees cold store. We looked at the options, and from a traditional racking point of view, very narrow aisle was the most favourable because of the fact that it uses the most floor area. The second option was shuttle or satellite racking, which operates on a system which is similar to driving, but the satellite does the work of the forklift truck within the racking channel. A third option was to create something that was completely innovative, using the latest technology in the marketplace. So initially we looked at option 1 for the client, which was very narrow aisle. As stated previously, very narrow aisle has the best utilisation of standard racking and managed to use up 55% of the floor area in the building. It's got a very good speed of throughput, stock rotation's good, it's very good for order picking, and ordinarily the machine that is used is a standard VNA forklift truck. Again, we may need to rate this because of the fact that the environment is minus 28 degrees. Okay, the building credentials, just to remind you, 4,500 square metres with a usable height of 11.7 metres. You can see the dimensions of the pallets that are used within the system, and all of them were not above 1,000 kilograms. So here was a standard racking layout for the building, which shows that we could obtain 7,320 pallet spaces stored over 5 pallets high. The one-off costs of the building were €5.3 million, which included cooling, lighting, racking, sprinklers, etc. And the annual running costs in relation to that building were €317,000, to include forklift truck drivers, forklift truck rental, staffing, maintenance, heating and lighting. Unfortunately, the client wasn't happy with the proposal and stated that they needed more pallets onto the available floor space. Therefore, we decided to look at the possibility of using satellite or shuttle racking. As you'll be aware, like driving, shuttle racking uses actually up to 85% of the floor area. It's very good with bulk movement of pallets. Stock rotation is also easily achieved. However, it only has an average capability for order picking. The handling equipment can normally be any forklift truck with some minor adjustments. To give you some information on the satellite and shuttle systems, satellites and shuttles are now proven technology. They massively decrease forklift truck workload. They can provide up to 75% increase in dispatch productivity. Averagely, they halve the number of forklift trucks and forklift truck drivers. There is also a greater storage capacity. There is a lack of selectivity dependent upon the sattel or shuttle racking layout. As you can see from the slide, we've set up the building with 2 independent blocks for storage. This was because our client is a food manufacturer and therefore operated a first in, first out system. You can see that as a result of using our Ready Shuttle product, we actually managed to store 10,455 pallets, which is obviously an increase of 3,000 pallets over VNA. The one-off cost does go up in relation to this to €6.4 million for everything that was previously included within the building, the cooling, lighting, etc. But the annual spend, as you'll see, has now reduced down to €252,000 for those extra 3,000 pallets. Yet again, our client wasn't happy with this solution, and they therefore asked us to again consider something a little bit more innovative, and they were willing to take a risk and a gamble to do that. Okay, so we now have a new product called Ready Logics, and I'll talk to you about that. Ready Logics is a buffer and sequencer in a box. It can be used or adapted for anything, but in this instance we're using it for the storage of pallets. Ready Logics has an undefined pallet number, which is adapted to basically meet the client's requirements for throughput or churn on any given day. The box is made up of vertical transporters, again the number of which is determined by the client's throughput. Each vertical transporter has the capacity of approximately 80 pallets per hour. It also has a horizontal and vertical transporters as well as chain conveyors. The use of Ready Logics on its own in a warehouse as an input or dispatch buffer removes the requirement to pick pallets in order. It can also be used both as an input and an output dispatch buffer. It also removes the requirement to have any marshalling area within your warehouse. Ready Logics can hold a whole day's shipping requirement and increases trailer loading efficiency by at least 100%. Ready Logics also provides pallets in delivery drop sequence and removes pick error. Okay, so just a few more bits on this. Ready Logics is a patented system which can be linked with an automated storage and retrieval system which sits behind it. Ready Logics and Ready Shuttle combined give a customisable modular system that has multiple benefits, but it can also double storage capacity compared with traditional racking solutions. Ready Logics is also suitable for cross-docking. It accommodates every type of pallet. It has only a small access requirement, and when linked with an ASRS system, provides a completely automated process. Here you can see an example of the Ready Logics animation using only one elevator within the system. The horizontal transporter moves pallets from the left to right, and the vertical transporter to elevate the pallets. Just to reiterate the benefits of Ready Logics and Ready Shuttle combined, it means that there's no forklift trucks because hand trucks can be used to load and unload the system as deliveries to floor level. There's no requirement for heating or adverse heating, no people, no forklift trucks, no lighting. There's also no soft costs in relation to the operation of the system such as HR, canteen requirements, toiletries, etc. But the amazing thing about the system is that it utilises up to 95% of the floor area from floor to ceiling. The resultant effect is a 47% decrease in the size of the building compared to using VNA, and this saved our client €3.5 million on day one. Okay, to recap, this combined system has excellent speed of throughput, excellent stock rotation, excellent selection and order picking, excellent stock variability, excellent safety and security of the goods, as the system can be completely enclosed. No one needs to go into the system at all. Pallets are delivered to the floor, which enables the use of hand pallet trucks. Okay, here you'll see a diagram of the solution provided to the client, which enables them to store 13,200 plus pallets within the system and which is completely automated. You will see that it's divided into 2 blocks of approximately 5,200 pallets and 7,400 pallets. Okay. Both of these blocks have satellites or shuttles operating within the system on each of the 5 levels within the ASRS system. This means that it's 5 times faster than a crane system. Along the centre line at 5 levels, there are 5 transfer carts which hold both pallets and the Ready shuttle system. You can then see the Ready Logic system, which is in the top right-hand corner, which sits as the in-feed and out-feed buffer, which also holds in excess of 300 pallets. This system is fully integrated with our client's SAP system. It sits as one individual location within their warehouse, whereby pallets are all called up for delivery to the floor in load order and then placed in the back of trucks. The one-off cost in relation to the entire project for the storage of 13,255 pallets was €6.5 million, with a dramatic decrease in the ongoing cost to only €85,000. We had some technical problems. I don't know if this will work. Just as a comparison in relation to this system, we're showing a cost comparison here of a building using the various different options. For the utilisation, this is actually prorated. So for the utilisation, you'll see that in relation to the use of VNA, we managed to store in the same building 7,320 pallets with a one-off cost of €5.27 million and an annual expenditure of €317,000. Using a shuttle system, we managed to store 10,450 pallets with a one-off cost of €6.432 million with an annual cost of €252,000. Using our system on the combined basis, we managed to store 13,200 pallets with one-off costs of €6,468,000, but only annual costs of €84,000. Now we have another slide which shows the actual prorated costs if we'd have used VNA, shuttle racking and our combined system, but only in relation to the size of the building that you would require. Obviously, we believe that the future of storage is in relation to the use of density, and obviously the more dense it makes it, the better. Our client is having further kickbacks in relation to this project now because they're finding that with the greater storage, their carbon footprint has reduced dramatically. So as you'll see with this, the cost in relation to a 13,200 pallet warehouse using VNA, the total cost for the same amount of capacity is €9.5 million, with an annual running cost of €569,000. The cost using a shuttle system to provide 13,200 pallets, it has a one-off cost of just over €8 million, with an annual operating cost of €317,000. But the cost of our combined system were only €6.468 million, with an annual running cost of €84,000. The figures obviously speak for themselves. Thank you for your time. I'm just going to show you a short video of the system operating, and I'm happy to take some questions.